Hello.
Hey,
Hi.
How is everybody tonight? It's Friday. It's the weekend.
Yeah.
So we want to say thank you for accommodating us tonight. Last night we would have had a
Yes.
very tiny grouping of us.
Mm-hmm.
So we moved it a day so that we could easily accommodate everybody's schedule as much as we could. We do want to acknowledge that we miss Natalie. She's dealing with some personal stuff this weekend. She's in the middle of moving, so she won't be on the stream tonight. But we love her. She's still part of everything. We want to make that very clear right now, out the gate. Nothing happened. Everything's good. She's just doing some personal stuff. And we'll be so excited to have her join us again in our August live stream. So, how is everybody? Everybody's saying hi in the comments. Tell us how you are. We've already got like 13 people on this stream. Look at us go.
Yeah.
Hey.
Wow. It's like my
chaos level
6-year-old.
is going to be high right now. So, fair warning. It's been kind of a week.
Oh God. No joke.
But, fun note, tomorrow is my birthday, and my new Kindle that I ordered like a month ago and was supposed to be here in 2 weeks because I custom ordered it because I'm just that extra. It's actually going to be here tomorrow. So, yay!
Yay! Oh, that's exciting.
So I'm so excited. I got me a Kindle Paperwhite. I have not bought me a Kindle in 10 years. The one I have is a really old keyboard one that only has like 3G internet on it. That tells you how old this sucker is.
Oh my gosh.
But it was the first one that could connect to the internet on its own. Like you didn't have to plug it in to port things over. So it was like a big deal when I bought it. But yes.
Yay!
So, yes, thank you all for the happy birthdays.
Yeah.
So exciting. Oh, Jessica is reading still. Okay, so I've only read. Did I buy the second volume? I don't remember. I don't think I did. I only read the first volume, and I really thought it was cute. I read that one with Melissa, Dylan.
Yes. Yeah. I remember when she was texting me
It's been a while, yeah. And I thought it was cute. I need to catch up on that. I'm behind.
I want to read it.
Mm-hmm.
It looks cute.
Oh, almost.
So, for those of you who are new to my channel, hi, I'm Shay. This is my channel. This is where I'm a chaotic, nerdy mess. And this is where I like to hang out and geek out about things. So I will let the other two introduce themselves, and then we'll talk about what we're drinking tonight. Yes, okay. Dylan.
Yay! Hi, I'm Dylan, Dynamic Dylan on YouTube. And I never know what to say in this part, but here I am.
Yay!
I don't know.
Hey y'all, I am Mama Loves Manga, aka Aisha. I have a different camera setup, so I'm gonna look directly at y'all while I'm talking. But yeah, I'm Mama Loves Manga everywhere on the internet, except for OnlyFans. For now. For now, you know. But no, that's it. Just, yeah.
All right, so let's quickly go over what we're drinking tonight. Oh, yes. I have my handy dandy soda. I am a Diet Coke Lush. So this is just my Diet Coke land. I don't drink alcohol, for anybody who's not in the know. It's just a personal choice. Plus, I'm trying to lose weight, so drinking alcohol is a bad idea. So diet soda is kind of my thing right now. So that's where we're living right now. Dylan, take it away. Tell us what you're drinking.
So I'm actually drinking Bailey's, and I'm about to refill. I shouldn't, because it's strong. What am I saying? I did not end up getting milk, so.
Oh, you're just drinking it straight.
You're just drinking it straight.
It's the only thing straight I ever do. God, it's strong though. I have water though. I do. Ooh. I'm not gonna get too lit. Don't worry, because I mean I feel like I should, but
I mean, I feel like
I won't, but
I
get the
feel
weekend off. It'll be fun.
Oh, yay! That's so exciting.
Yay. Yes.
Well,
Thank
this weekend we'll
God.
have to make sure an Animal Crossing thing happens then.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, yes, we should. Yes.
It's been
Yeah.
way too long.
We
Not
I know.
that
I haven't even
Not
logged
that
on
I've
in
done
like
much on
a
my
long time.
island. I don't think I've logged in almost a month. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm still logging on every day.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
we know.
The thing is, I want to like almost reboot and start over.
Yeah.
I've had that thought. I've had that thought a
I don't
couple
know.
of times.
We'll see.
I see. It's bad with me. I want to buy a new Switch so I can have a second island,
I asked
but
Matt.
I don't have the money. So
I asked
I'm
Matt if
not
I
doing
could do
it.
that, and he straight up was just like,
Just
"No." Well, actually, before he said no,
just
he
create
said,
a dummy account, Dylan. Create a dummy account and
No, it doesn't.
start a new game.
I don't think it
"Oh,
works
it won't
like
let you start a new game." I don't.
because
Wait.
it's only one.
One per
You
Switch.
can only have one account or one like game. File.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess I should say what I'm drinking really quick.
Yes.
Oh,
Aisha,
yeah,
what are you drinking, love?
I'm drinking wine.
Oh. Yes.
Are we
this
wine
is-
out of a box? Is this a fancy
This is
bottle? What
definitely
kind of
box.
wine?
This is definitely box wine, y'all. This is
Yeah.
my tried and true Franzia chillable red because I sent Matt to the store to get it, and that's what that's what I trust him to bring back. And I didn't feel like fussing with it, and with everything going on, I am not feeling like being out and about. So
Ooh. That actually sounds really good.
I don't like
I-
watermelon. Though. I know. Don't nobody come for me in the comments, but it's gross. Like I don't like the
Texture.
flavor and the texture. Yeah.
I also
And then
forgot to
there's a
show you
red
my cup.
one here. Yes.
That's my cup.
It's your Philly
Oh,
Daddy
that's
mug.
so
Yes. I love it.
Melissa gave this to me, so I had to. I
Oh,
watched
is
it
that
last
one?
night.
Yes.
Mhm.
I love it.
It's perfect for tonight.
Okay, so the title we read this month, now that we're almost like 10 minutes into the stream, we haven't even started talking about it. So
Yes.
this month we read Midnight Secretary. It's a 7-volume series, and my cat decided he needs to freak out and climb this tower right now. That's next to me. Anyways, like I said, chaotic mess, party of one right here. So in Midnight Secretary, we follow a office woman who's in her early 20s, I want to say.
Yeah.
She's like 22, 23.
Yeah,
Somewhere in that room.
23.
And she kind of has baby face. So when she goes to work, she like ties her hair back and looks really extreme, wears lots of heavy makeup to try to look older so that people take her seriously at work. And being somebody who nobody believes I'm turning 35 tomorrow, like I understand. I understand the
Right.
looking younger than you are and people not taking you seriously for a long time. I mean, I got carded a lot of places until we were like 30. Until I was like 30. After that, I stopped getting carded. But up until then, like, I got carded everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, I called y'all on Twitter that the dental hygienist thought that I was my son, my
Oh, yeah.
14-year-old.
So yeah. Anyway,
That's awkward.
back to Midnight Secretary. So in Midnight Secretary, this woman gets kind of transferred within her job, and she takes the job as the new personal assistant to one of the higher ups in the company. And we find out that this particular higher up has a certain reputation for being kind of a cad, and you have to manage his schedule for all of the ladies that come and visit him. But there's a reason why they come and visit him, and he's a vampire who's drinking their blood.
Yes.
And so this is actually a romance between the vampire and the secretary, and it's fantastically smutty. But I'm not going to talk about this one first. I'm going to pass it over to Dylan, and you give us your rating, like your story rating, which is like a star rating, and then your smut rating.
Okay.
If you can say eggplants or chili peppers or flames, whatever you want to do of those three.
Okay. So actually, I wasn't the biggest fan of this one, unfortunately. Yeah. So So this is like a whole thing, but like I didn't really. Okay, I'll talk about it later. Let's just get straight into like stars. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna get into it.
So the stars are for like the story and the plot and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the other is just for the smut factor.
Mhm.
Okay. I mean, I would say it's either gonna be for me like a 2.5 for enjoyment, or a 3, because there are aspects I liked about it. And then smut factor. So that's hard because like it's not what I look for in smut. So like for me, I guess I would give it like a 3 or 4, 3.5. We'll just do 3.5. It was fine. Yeah, that's for me personally though.
Okay. So are we going in? Yeah. Okay. So for me, for the story, I'm trying to be fair. For the story, for me personally, 2.5 stars. 2.5 stars. And then for the smuttiness, I'm gonna say a solid 3. Well, I don't want to use eggplant emojis because it wasn't eggplanty.
Yeah.
I would say 3. What are those water spurt thingies?
Oh, okay.
Those
Water?
things, yeah.
Like water guns?
Yeah, no, like the
Or-
emojis.
Oh,
The emoji where it's just the little splurts. The little splash.
Or emojis.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The splash,
Sweat.
splash, or something. Anyway,
Yeah.
whatever. Y'all know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll leave it at that for now. Go ahead, Shay, and then we'll.
Okay, so story-wise, it's a 4 for me. I'm a slut for vampire stories. So this was just my jam. Vampire stories are not for everybody because there's always this alpha male who's a total douche canoe. Like that's just always that vampire personality. So I went in expecting that. And I think because I went in expecting a lot of those kinds of things and expecting it to be problematic because I haven't read a vampire story that's not problematic at this point in my life. And I've read a lot. And so I went in expecting all of the crap and the stupid tropes and things. So I could give the story a solid 4. When it comes to the smut factor, it's one of those things where Midnight Snow, do you mean Millennium Snow? Boundless? Because Millennium Snow, it's YA, so it's not even in the same category to me. I never expected YA to be smutty, and that has problems in and of itself too. So we're not going to go there today. Anyways, it's one of those things where the smut was there and they were constantly doing it, but it wasn't necessarily like explicit and wasn't detailed in what was going on. So I think for me, that's sitting at like a 3.5 if I'm honest with myself, because it could have been smuttier and I would have been happier. Like,
Right.
but I have to say the dude was hot. Like, I loved the art and I loved that he was shirtless through like half of this series. Yes, thank you.
I think we can all agree that the art is nice. I mean, just
I love Tomu.
the way that she draws women, especially.
Oh yes. And
It
even
just-
like the attention to detail with like the nipples and things, it's
Yes.
beautiful.
I feel like she has such a love for women, and not necessarily in the way that I do, but like you can just tell that she loves
She
drawing
appreciates
beautiful
the female figure and
Yes.
isn't afraid to give her character some boobs and some booty, and we love to see
here's the
it.
thing too with Kaya. I really like that she's built very similarly to me. She's very. I mean, I think I'm probably taller
She's not
than
like
she is.
fussy,
But she's
but
very petite, and I was like, oh my god! And she even had like an aside where she talked about why Kaya has small breasts, and I was like, I appreciate this so much as someone who has small. Kaya is a little bit more blessed than I am, but not too much more. And so just the way she was built, I was like, look, it's me. That's my body.
because in like manga and anime, most women are
Women are
very busty.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
And
Unless
so
you're
it's nice to
tomboy.
see.
Unless you're the tomboy friend.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's nice to see. something
Yeah.
that's small,
The
realistically
sex sells.
sized.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Because we don't usually see people with my body type in manga cast as like the main love interest.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
They're
it's
usually like the side
they're the
character.
side character, they're the friend. Which I
Right.
mean, even as a like woof, that could go anyway. So yeah,
That a totally different way, but
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
it's a hetero story. We can't totally gay it up. We're gonna gay it up.
exactly.
Let's be real.
I want to, girl.
I mean, there were a couple of
I had ships.
Yeah. Well,
No, yeah.
Dylan and I were having a discussion before you got on, Aisha, so I'm just going to mention this right here.
Oh,
What
okay.
Dylan and I really wanted to see is we wanted to see, I can't remember the vampire guy's name right now. We wanted to see, we wanted to see his brother be a vampire and then have it be a trio with the three of them. That's what we wanted to see. Because I would have been all over that crap. Like, yes,
Yeah.
please.
It would have been
I'll be
messy.
writing a side story. Do it for me, please.
The only thing is that it would make it kind of awkward because I mean, because obviously it would be to her, but I don't know.
Right.
I'm inserting myself into this fantasy, and I don't think I would want to be with. Oh my gosh, let's not talk about that yet, because that was one of my favorite parts. Okay, let's. I'm gonna stop talking now, and we're gonna.
We'll come back to Midnight Butler later.
We'll talk about the things that we.
Let's do the pros and cons. We'll do the likes and then we'll do the dislikes. Aisha, you start with your likes.
Oh, okay. So, hold on. My camera decided that it wants to, because I moved. Hold on. Is it focusing now?
It'll come back. You'll be fine.
Okay. Anyway, so my likes. Wow, it is really freaking out. Anyway, sorry. It's like it's distracting me because it keeps moving. Anyway, so the things that I liked. Oh gosh, I really liked Kaya. I already mentioned that I liked her body type, but I liked her as a person. I liked her personality. I thought that she was written in a very believable way. So like even although I didn't agree with most of her decisions, they felt like she was making
them. They felt authentic to her.
Yeah, it felt like she had autonomy in this story. She didn't feel like just a person, like like a Mary Sue type person. Like she
wasn't that demure Japanese woman that we read so often, and I love her.
Yeah, and she was. I liked her. I did. I liked her a lot. I also really liked I liked her other boss at the other company, whose name I cannot remember.
I loved him.
Usually I hate it when the third person comes in. Same.
They were so cute together.
This moment,
I love that. If the vampire guy weren't in the picture, they totally would have been together. That's my headcanon right there.
Yes, because I really, really liked that guy. I liked pretty much all the women. I think all of the women were interesting. Like even the like the kind of like side women, they were all interesting.
All the secretaries, all the women, really
all of them. These women are
especially the vampire woman.
Yes,
I really,
Marika,
I
really like her.
We'll get back to Marika later, though.
Yeah, I really liked her. I'm trying to think of what else I mean, of course, like the art is gorgeous.
If that's it, that's fine.
I think that's the main. Those are the main things that I liked. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay, so for me on the likes, again, the art style was really nice. I really liked how the men were drawn. I liked how the women were drawn. Like, she just has an appreciation for the human body that I can just really get behind. And the fact that our male protagonist was shirtless for half the manga, yes, thank you. That's all I'll say about that. Anyways, another thing I really liked is it was brought up by the Leave It, I Don't Mind. Is you could really feel like she did grow throughout the course of the series. She came into herself. She gained more
Mhm.
confidence in her looks, especially. And
Mhm.
she just grew to be this amazing character. And I really loved watching her journey.
Mhm.
Again, like Aisha, I didn't necessarily like all of her decisions that she made. Like I'm not gonna say that I disagree because I don't. Because I they felt like the authentic choice for her for the story, but I would never make those same decisions. But then
Right.
again, I'm not made up in a story.
Right.
So in this one, and like I said, I do like that on page they were doing it all the time.
Mhm.
It's just a thing for me. I like it.
Mhm.
I do wish it was more explicit, but that's again my smutty soul taking over, and the fact that I read very erotic fiction
Right.
coming into
Yeah.
play here.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
think that's going to go on my cons area, so we'll leave that for now. Another thing I really enjoyed was the fact that she loved her work. She didn't want to give up her work. So many times in manga, we see women who work until they get married, and that's what they want. So, like, I came into the same thing with um, Everyone's Getting Married, where I loved that she wanted to work, but she also wanted to be a housewife once she got married. And
Mhm.
she grew to learn later that she loved her work and wanted to keep working. And I loved seeing that. And it's one of those things where I love that our character wanted to work. A working woman is not a bad thing. I was raised in a house with a mom who always had to work. My
Mhm.
dad chose to be a school teacher, and my mom respected his profession, so she always worked because
Mhm.
my teachers are paid jack in the state of Utah, and they always have been. And so my
Right.
mom, for us to get by, because my parents bought their house like before they got married, so they moved in like 3 weeks after they got married, and they've lived in the same house forever. But to afford their house payment, my mom had to work, and so I always came from a home where a mom worked, and so like working women is an appealing thing for me to see in stories because
Mhm.
so often we don't once women get married or have a child, a lot of them choose to stay home, which I respect
Mhm.
that decision. I know Aisha's a stay-at-home mom who homeschools her kids.
Yeah, but only this is like you have to understand this is a recent thing because that
Right.
was not. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. That was not always my life. I
That's not
definitely.
always the case. Right.
Yeah, I
You're at a
definitely.
point now where that's what you want.
Yeah. Right. So working women, like that's just when that's what you're used to. That's what I'm used to.
Mhm.
Oh, Kristen, listen. All
I'm
this
cool.
time, I don't.
Thank
How
you
did I
for
not?
telling us her name.
Thank you.
How did I not know that after all this
We
time?
love you, Kristen. Thank you, love.
But anyway, sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Because
But yeah, I think for pros, that's kind of it for me. I love seeing working women and office women in particular. Like it was just good for me that way.
you already know.
We know
My
Aisha has
office
a case for
lady.
that. We'll talk about that at a
Yeah.
later date. Okay, Dylan, on to you for what were your pros with the series?
Okay. So I agree with you both. I think Kaya was probably my favorite thing about it. I really liked her, like, what's the word? Her, like, go-getter attitude and how
Mhm.
she always went after what she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that. I liked her.
Mhm.
I liked when, uh, what's his even name? What's his name? Toma wasn't talking. I liked that. That was nice. So, yeah.
All
um,
right.
and yeah, I agree with the art. I like the art as well. Um, yeah, I I kind
And
of
if
I
that's
do
it,
like.
that's okay, Eddie.
Yeah, I know. I did kind of like the whole like vampire human hierarchy, like kind of thing. I thought
Mhm.
that was kind of interesting.
I guess that's another thing I
Um,
can put in my pro area is I do like that they explored the vampire world a little bit towards the later part of the series.
yeah.
I do wish they would have done that a little earlier, personally, but
hmm it also, we'll get into it later, but like the beginning of the story, how do I want to say this? Like they explain things later on that justify certain actions that characters take in the beginning. Well, justify, not really, but they
They
explain it,
explain.
and I'm like, okay, I would have liked to know that sooner, so I wasn't like just gagging the entire series. But oh well. Now you know how I feel.
All right, Dylan. Let's just go. Let's go with the cons.
Okay. Well, I think the first one is Toma. I just no, like he's pretty to look at, but he is such a pompous, just womanizing, conniving, and he is not for me. I did not like his personality at all. I mean, I get that he's a vampire, he's a monster, so it makes sense, but I didn't like him. So
no, I
first.
totally expected most people to not like him.
Yeah.
To me, he was a typical vampire protagonist. Like they're always like this womanizing piece of crap kind of person. They use humans like
Yeah.
well, like just, you know.
Yeah. Like Kristen said, like, because I also was a huge Anne Rice fan. Like,
I was too.
I love it. I love the Vampire Chronicles so much. I started reading it in high school. It was actually, that whole series was one of the first things that Matt ever bought me. Like for like the whole set. He like did his research and everything because he knew that I loved the Vampire Chronicles. So I'm obsessed. And granted, Anne Rice's vampires, they're very different from the romancy YA like all that stuff.
yeah.
When that started to come into play, basically Twilight ruined things in my opinion.
No argument.
Because Anne Rice's vampires, they're assholes, but it's completely different. It's like a more, it focuses on like the existential. Anyway, the point is that this type of the type of vampire that Kyohei is, I don't like. I don't like. And not even as a vampire, but just as a person. He was so mean to Kaya and never, in my opinion, I feel like he never made up for it. It's kind of what like I love grumpy people. I'm usually like the goofy, you know, and so I love grumpy people. I love to annoy grumpy people, you know, like I love a grumpy person. So I can deal with the grumpy, you know, love interest who gives us other reasons to actually really like them. Kyohei doesn't give us that. He's just an asshole, and he never even really makes up for it. And it's like this whole.
We all know Kaya deserved better. She deserved the other boss, like the human boss. Yes. Like we all know that if he wasn't in the picture, that's who she would have been with.
Would have been with him.
I shipped them.
That was the most frustrating thing ever. Because like he even explained it to her. He was like,
"P.S. I love this whole series so much, so much."
I need to read that. I've heard really good things.
It is like steampunk, but sassy. It's fantastic.
Ooh.
Noted.
Yeah, but I was
we pretty much established this at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, Dylan. On to your next point, since we all agree he's a douche killer.
So there was one thing that I wish I would have known about before I started reading, because I got triggered in this manga. And it was a scene made for drama, and I know that it wasn't like meant to be triggering, but it's the part where where Kaya cuts her wrist.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Triggering. I didn't even think about that.
And that's why it took me so long to read most of it, because I once I got to that point, I kind of just put it down for a while. I couldn't. It's stuck in
Yeah.
that place. So yeah.
Oh. Yeah, well, I'm glad that you mentioned it though, so that people who maybe do watch this and haven't read this, have
And be aware of that.
because
Yeah.
I
I
didn't
didn't
even
even
think
think about that.
right. Yeah,
That's not a
It was
personal
such a
trigger for
short
me, so that's why I
scene, too.
didn't think about it.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Sorry, I'm looking at comments.
Me too.
But and do you have anything else that you disliked or was
I'm trying to think. There was something about the vampires I didn't like. I mean, I guess it is. They're very like Twilighty vampires.
How
so they-
derogatory they are towards humans gets really
Yeah.
grating really fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're very predatory. Which
For
I mean,
sure.
I guess they're monsters, but it's like, I'm trying to think of other things. If there's anything else, it was mostly just not liking Toma.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Can I go next?
yeah,
Okay. So for me, I know Dylan didn't quite finish, so this might be a spoiler for him. But the whole pregnancy at the end trope, I'm over it. Like I can't even with it. Like, and of course, it's gonna be this all-powerful vampire baby. I'm like, oh, are you kidding me here? Really?
yeah, I
You
got
have
to
to
the
take that
point.
route. Does there have to be vampire spawn? Really?
That's actually the thing I didn't like, honestly, because when
Yeah.
I got to the chapter where they're talking about that, and like the whole point of the vampire as a monster is that they can't age. So the fact that there's a baby that can age as a
Right?
vampire doesn't make any
It
sense.
doesn't work.
Because they're
It doesn't
immortal, and it's like, it doesn't make any sense. I don't like it. Like that's the whole we're going back to the Vampire Chronicles. That's why Claudia is so tragic. Is that she's
Yes.
a child vampire and living in a
As
as
a child.
forever. That's
Yep.
horrible.
Mhm.
And I don't know. So that I didn't like that. I didn't like.
So yeah, the whole
babies.
pregnancy at the end trope. I was not here for that. And
I'll let you go. Keep going. I'll
no,
go
you're
back to
good.
it.
Go for it.
Okay, so
Because it might be what I was gonna say. So just go.
I don't like that the vampires couldn't be gay.
Oh yes.
That bugged me. I was like,
Yeah.
So
Excuse
hetero.
that bothered me. And I know
Yep.
it's just a thing in Japan. Yeah. And that's just a social thing, but still it's
Well, and the fact that they couldn't
know.
even really receive the same kind of pleasure from their own race was really bothering to me.
Oh yeah, that too.
Because you would think a married couple, they would want to, with each other.
Right.
And I understand needing outside sources for blood, but
Mhm.
come
Yeah,
on.
the vampire lore
Blood,
was
the man could go and be the hunter and feed the woman. There are ways around it where it could have worked.
Mhm.
But
They
the
even
fact that it was
have
written
the,
that it couldn't, bothered me.
They would have those pills that they had. Too.
Right, yeah.
It didn't end up working out really, but
Mhm.
But they were working on a way to make that work by the end. Spoiler.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
The
figured.
blood substitute.
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest thing for me was the pregnancy at the end. I'm like, another series that went there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess along with all the things that y'all have already said, I also just I didn't like Kyohei. I didn't like, I didn't like the situation with Kaya's mom. I hated how Kyohei at first was like, I don't want to meet your mom. It would be one thing
Oh,
if
the
Kaya's
manipulation
mom
with
was
the
a
mom,
jerk,
yeah.
but Kaya's mom was so kind. The fact that he
forgot.
used Kaya's mom to in the beginning as
A
not
reason for
blackmail,
her to
but
not
as
tell anything.
yeah,
it
to
was
Yeah.
force her to do what he wanted, and then on top of that to have the attitude of I don't care about meeting your mother. I listen. I don't even talk to my own mother, but I could not have been with somebody. I could not have made that choice to be with somebody who's just like absolutely not like. No, I don't know. I just for no reason. Her mom was nice, and
Right.
all she did was care about her daughter. I don't know. That annoyed me.
Yeah.
Did I already say that Kyohei annoyed me?
Uh-huh.
I didn't like that Kaya didn't go with the one boss. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I didn't like. Oh gosh, there was something else that I didn't like. Oh, the vampire clan and the king, whatever, the chief of the vampire clan,
the leader, whoever he was.
I didn't like him, and
no, he was a spoiled, rotten child.
Yeah, I didn't like the way that he kept trying to interfere. For what, sir? For what? What is
your
this
own
doing?
Enjoyment? What the crap, dude? Come on.
What is the reason? There's just honestly there's a lot that I didn't like about this, and I'm kind of sad because I kept thinking I really liked Spell of Desire more than this, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that like Spell of Desire focused mostly on female characters,
and this one focused a lot more on male characters.
And this one, focused. Right, and it also had a lot of like the more. It just felt even more.
It's
like,
more problematic than
and I don't want to say problematic because y'all know how I feel about that work, but like it just felt more, I guess you could say, stereotypical romance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it had all of those tropes, and sometimes I'm in the mood for that, but not a lot of the times. And I definitely just kind of wasn't. I was just like, oh, this. I forgot this is why I hadn't finished it, because I think I've mentioned I had actually owned the first few of them physically for a while, but I stopped collecting it, and I stopped.
And now you remember why.
And now I'm like, oh, this is why, because it's not a romance title that I would be like, oh my gosh, hey, here you go, everyone should read this, because
that's actually really
that's fair. Yeah, that's
it is a fair point.
I still don't think
it's a stereotypical like thing in a brooding hero kind of thing that they don't have a loving relationship to as an example. So it was a trope that was used, but you know, I think it's valid at the same time.
Right. I also feel like his relationship with his mother, and maybe I'm just reading it differently, but the way I saw it, I didn't see her as someone who was a horrible person. I feel like she loved him. Yeah. He just felt bad that she felt, and maybe I am coming at this from the perspective of someone who has mixed race children, and how I've had to experience my oldest when he was like in kindergarten, first grade, coming home and telling me that he wished he was white like his school friends, and then feeling that moment of like, oh, it's my fault that he's being teased at school because I'm the one who is Black. So I feel like the mom was just like, I'm the one who, I'm a vampire, and it's
honestly,
my fault.
I liked his mom a lot. I liked the relationship between the parents.
I thought she was really sweet. He just didn't want to have anything to do. He was just mad because she didn't want to have anything to do with vampires. And, you know, which that is another conversation, because I will say as I would not be that person who's like, I don't want to have anything to do with Black people because that's silly. But also Black people aren't vampires.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, I definitely feel like his mom was really sweet, and I'm not going to tell him how he should live his life, but I don't agree with his choices about his mama. As someone who has, again, I've mentioned before, I don't talk to my mother for various reasons. I kind of give people the side eye when they have like great moms. It's like, and they're mean to them. It's like,
Yeah.
See, I have a great mom, but I'm not mean to her. My mom's awesome.
Exactly.
And I brag about my mama all the time.
Exactly. So I'm just kind of, but you already know I don't like Kyohei anyway. So I'm just like, makes sense that he's like that.
So I liked Kaitaku's comment, so I wanted to bring it up. The romance didn't even make sense. The sense of duty as a secretary supposedly turns to love, but it wasn't really believable to me. Didn't understand it. I
That
could
is
totally
great.
understand that because that's totally mixing work with romance, and they should never be mixed, in my opinion. Like, even like in a married couple, like your romantic relationship should never interfere with your work relationship.
Right.
If you work together, absolutely. That's why I don't work. I couldn't do it.
Especially since he was also her boss too.
Yeah,
there's like power
there's a low
dynamic.
power dynamic.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, he exudes that power.
And he definitely manipulates his power.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said earlier, he freaking like blackmailed her with her mom, basically, and was like threatening to fire her mom. Just like, the more I talk about this, the more I'm like, Kaya,
the
girl.
mama got the raw deal in this story.
She really did. Bless her heart. Oh, yeah. I just really don't like that man.
I don't understand Kaya's reasoning for choosing him.
This happens January, no judgment.
That's true.
That's what we get. That's what we get for running our mouths.
It's the alcohol, honey.
It's one thing if it's mutually consensual, but if there's a power dynamic used and influences the other person's like feelings, that's a problem.
I will add, just because. So like the same thing with like age gaps. You know how I hate age gap romances. That my mother and father-in-law are like
11,
way
12 years apart?
No, they're like.
Are they further apart than that?
They're way further apart. They're like, I think when she was 19 and he was in his 30s, I think, when they got married. There's a pretty big difference.
My grandparents were 11 years apart.
Yeah.
My grandma was 19 and my grandpa was 30, and they've been dating for 3 years.
Right. So, I mean, I say that to say that
my grandpa was dating a 16-year-old as a 27-year-old. My grandpa and grandma are Takane and Hana. So, like, I have no room to talk here. But again with Kaitaku, work romance can be sexy. I agree. Sweat and Soap, super sexy. I love it. We're getting volume 3 this month. I'm living my best life.
Yeah. Oh, that's so.
And that's totally fine. I had friends who got married at 18 to guys that were much older than them. So
I was 20, but so was my husband. So that doesn't really count because we were both children.
Like one of my best friends in high school, she got married to a guy who was 6 years older than her, like within months of our graduation. Like they met, I think they met shortly after she turned 18. And then they got married the following November.
So basically, we're saying this to say that even if we don't like it in our fiction, we do realize that it happens in real life.
It happens in real life. We're not judging here.
We're not judging.
Talking about this particular title and the manipulation of the boss.
But I did think that was so funny.
The boss is bad.
Right. But I do think that's funny. January was like,
I married my boss.
I was like, oh, that's what we get. That's what we get.
It does happen.
Oh no!
Oh my God!
No!
I don't even know this song, so.
Stop!
I can't breathe.
I'm just sitting here like I don't even know what's happening.
Google it later, honey.
I will.
Oh, Chris, by the way, sweetie, we love you.
Oh man.
Let's see.
Oh, I need to read this one.
Yes, Office Place romances we love on Office Place
Very
romance.
true.
It's when the boss is using his power against an underling that we have an issue.
Yes. Because I'm as
in like workplace.
Yeah, his personality was also most of the problem too.
For real. For real.
Oh yeah. That would be torture.
So hard. Absolutely. I'm just like, no.
I work in a profession where I mainly work with women and gay men. It's fantastic.
That sounds nice to me.
Yes, we actually just had a new stylist start. He and his partner.
Aw.
He's
Awesome.
super sweet. I really like him.
That's lovely.
Oh, it looks like that was a double.
A double.
Where are we?
But yeah, I think. Was there anything else we felt like we needed to talk about with Midnight Secretary?
No. Do we want to talk about the extra things? Because
yes,
I love.
Let's talk about Midnight Butler because I was
before that, because love to see it. But I really like the little short story with the other boss and his cat.
Mm-hmm. That was so cute.
That was so cute.
I don't know if I got to that.
Where the cat is like, I don't like this woman. She doesn't
from the perspective of his cat. Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
All of us through the cat.
It was so cute. It made me think of she and her cat. Like that. It made me think of that, but with this guy who I really liked. And
but it's like a man and his cat too.
Yeah.
Oh
yes. Yeah. Which I haven't quite.
I would say it's
closer to a man
and his cat than she and her cat for me.
Yeah.
It's because Fukumaru desperately loves his human, and you could tell that this cat loves their human too. And the cat's like, you have me. You don't need anybody else.
I just thought it was so precious.
Cat mama heart.
Like.
Oh my gosh.
Just give me all the monsters and the
What about
furry.
the campfires though?
Did you say campfires?
That would Anyway, moving on.
Yes. Moving on from the cat story that we all adored, Midnight Butler. We get to see Marika get a lover, and I loved him.
Oh, I want to read more now.
Yes, Dylan, you're gonna have to skip to the end and read that part.
I probably will.
It's like 50 pages, maybe.
Ooh, nice. That's better than most side
it's the
stories.
story of her getting kind of like a human butler who ends up
and
it's so good. I loved him. He was probably my second favorite guy in the series. It was the boss of the other company and then this guy. Those are my favorite guys.
I liked him a lot. Mm-hmm.
I liked him. And he was just like, yes, my queen, like gave her whatever she wanted. Like,
oh,
yes. Oh,
that sounds nice.
I'd love to see Midnight Butler. I would have made a whole series about them rather than just a couple chapters.
Yes. I'm a hypocrite because like when it's a man overpowering a woman, I hate to see it. But when it's a woman overpowering a man, that's my shit.
I love strong women.
Yes.
And I love that dynamic so much. I loved even at the end when she was like, you're still like, even after finding out that he is like an heir or whatever, she's still like, you're my butler. I was like, yes.
Oh my god, I love it.
You have to read it, Dylan. It's so good.
I will. I'm gonna finish the series. I'm still gonna read it.
You don't need to. Don't finish the series. Just read that one.
Just read Midnight Butler, honey.
Okay.
It's okay. Yeah, you're not missing. You're really not missing anything out or missing anything because that. I meant to say that pregnancy thing. I rolled my eyes so hard. Actually, with the first pregnancy scare, I rolled my eyes so hard. I was just like, and
I all knew where it was headed at that point.
Yeah, here's the thing. I have 2 children. I don't want to see this in my. I don't want pregnancy scares and crap in my fiction. I go into fiction to get away from my children. I don't want to see stuff about. I mean, there's sometimes that I'm fine with it, but like.
What's that whole accidental pregnancy?
Yeah,
I don't like accidental pregnancy.
Yes, yes.
Just
when it's something like a scare,
where it's like already present in the beginning of the series, and like after like a one night stand with friends, and then they have to like figure it out after that. I thrive on that because that's a friends to lovers situation, and that's totally different to me. Right. But it's one of those things where it's like, we've been dating and then all of a sudden, I'm pregnant. Oh, let's live happily ever after. I'm like, yeah, no, that doesn't work for me.
Right.
Because in real life, you'd be divorced and unhappy, and that wouldn't work.
Right. I don't know. I didn't like it. But also I didn't like him. And so knowing that
Yeah.
she's like now for sure tied to him, whether she likes it or not, it just annoyed me because
Yeah.
I was just annoyed. I
And then
hated
the vampires wanting to come and take the baby away. Like, I was like,
that annoyed me too because I was like, I wish you would. I wish somebody. It made me. It just.
anyway.
There's so much that I didn't love about it, but I don't regret reading it. I truly don't.
No, I don't either.
I mean, oh my. Okay, but here's the thing like this: they did
use them,
reiterate over
Mhm.
and over that they were careful, but like,
That's why that whole accidental pregnancy trope, even when they use a condom, like it's
it was just like so like the first one, I forget what happened with the first one. Like the first time she thought she was pregnant, I think it was because her period didn't come because she had probably wasn't eating enough. She'd been stressed and she probably wasn't eating enough. Which annoys me. I eat, okay. Anyway.
Everybody eat your food.
Eat your food.
I don't care what your food is, eat your food.
I always do.
Don't just eat, please. But
just eat, please.
Me too.
Especially if you're a hot vampire that's not a piece of shit. Eat me. I'm not homophobic. Please.
The second time, it was like after they had like when he randomly was put in a chapel out in freaking nowhere. That was so stupid.
I haven't gotten there yet.
So stupid, Dylan. It was so stupid. Oh my gosh, they were supposed to go eat dinner with Kaya's mom, and then out of nowhere. I'm sorry. I'm just like it was just
out of nowhere they end up in a chapel.
Out of nowhere they end up in a chapel that like they didn't even know existed in this restaurant. I was like, what the heck? What? And then he gets all weak, and so he has to like take her.
And then the mom's like, I did it on purpose. I'm like, that's so out of character for mom. No, thank you.
Right? Yeah, because she's like, oh, I've known about vampires this whole time, and it's like, bitch, no, you didn't. Like, where's this coming from? I was so irritated. Why did I bring that up? Anyway, I was gonna say something else, but I already forgot what it was. I've had 2 glasses of wine.
Anyway, shall we move on to happier things, such as our August title that Aisha and I have both already read?
Yes.
If y'all follow me
don't choke, girl. Not yet. Not yet.
So, Aisha, do you want to tell everybody, or shall I?
So, we are going to be reading Public Sex.
Yep.
I just wanted to say it.
If y'all follow me on Twitter, y'all have seen me talk about. I mentioned it. It's been a couple weeks ago. I read it and I mentioned it on my Twitter because I was like, "Oh, this title, yes!" And then I read it and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is I'm such a deviant."
Yeah.
And I loved every mess. Chris knows because Chris was up there like, hey, I may have also read this. Hey, like it's
okay. So funny story. When I first decided I wanted to explore some yaoi, this is one of the ones I read.
Oh.
I was a baby when it comes to yaoi reading public sex. And Aisha knows like how bad that situation really is.
It's just yes,
it is not a dojo.
No, it's not a dojo.
No, it's not.
I'm already hot.
I read it on Bookwalker. Aisha read it on
Futakia.
Yeah.
That's why I'm probably gonna read it.
Yeah. So
and yes, it's gonna be a discussion.
Oh,
it is.
There will be words spoken. You do not want to miss next month because this is a discussion piece.
I'm gonna
read. I am excited.
A public discussion piece.
Like honestly, I could probably write a dissertation about all of the problems that are in public sex. But it is a kind of hot mess that I just love. I'm sorry, I am trash.
I loved it. I'm not even gonna. You know what? There's things that are not good about it, but I'm just like
It is very explicit, so it is not available through Kindle. I do know that.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not
they
sure
would
if you
never.
can get it physically. I would assume somebody has published it at this point, so I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I've never looked for a physical one.
I could look. I don't think I'll look around, but I don't think there's a physical one.
Yes,
Yay.
you don't want to miss it.
It's,
We aren't sure whose channel it's going to be on yet, so we will let you know as soon as we decide. But just be subscribed to everybody, and you'll never miss it.
Yeah, I'll make
Yay.
sure to like post it on Twitter and in our community tabs. I've been using the heck out of my community tab lately.
I have been.
I love it. I'm so glad that that's a thing because I love it. Kristen, you can read it. Like Shay said, she read it.
I read it on Bookwalker.
I read it on Futakia, and I'm not sure if you have to have.
When we post
You don't
about it
have to have a
on like
subscription.
Twitter,
You don't have to have a subscription.
No, it's on there for free.
Okay, because I have a subscription, but I wasn't
when
sure.
we post about it, we'll list a couple of places where you can find it, so that you can do whatever works best for you. I bought it outright through Bookwalker and just read it on their platform.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So it is available for purchase that way digitally.
Mhm.
So if you're worried about shipping and all that kind of stuff, you can do it that way.
Yeah. And it's also not, which again, I pay for the Futakia subscription, but I don't think it's not very expensive.
No, I only paid a couple of dollars for it.
Yeah, for what it is. I don't think it's
and it's one single volume. We're going easy on you this month after a 7 month.
Although I wish
7 months. That's how I felt reading it.
7 years later.
Oh my gosh. I
finally got to the pregnancy.
Yeah, I finished it today. Like that was
I almost did.
I finished that series today. Yeah, like we've got to figure out, since Dylan is one of our hosts now, we've got to figure out like a gender neutral sort of thing now, because I'm always like the thirsty ladies. It's not the thirsty ladies anymore.
Oh yeah. I mean, I can do drag, honey.
Well,
not right now. I don't fit in my dress anymore. I have to buy a new one. But I'm sorry. I'm bad.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Dylan,
I'm kidding.
No. Yeah, we're gonna have to. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. See, I'm out of focus again.
I am a gentleman.
Dylan. Okay, Dylan is a freaking queen.
He is.
Honestly, we could have said the thirsty queens.
Oh, yes. I like that.
The queens of thirst. The queens of thirst.
Natalie's going to come back next month and she's going to be like, what happened?
We're the queens.
That's going to be fine, though. She'll be fine.
Oh, side note, Lythus, don't think I didn't see your old comment about me being a cat lady. I was telling Shay and Dylan about our game, and I guess I didn't tell y'all that my character
there's that too.
Thirsty deviant. Listen. The Thirst Crew, the Duchess of Debauchery. Hey!
Ooh!
Hey, I love it.
I'm like here for all of these things. We should do a poll. Yeah, like this. I see you laughing. But yeah, no, my character was a cat lady.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Oh
I can play the drums.
You're like,
I can try the bongos.
I'm gonna go to a drag show
so
bad. I haven't been to a drag show in so long. Oh my gosh, this is making me sad.
Okay, friends. Well, I think that's our show for this month.
Yeah,
Join us next month for our long and dissertation on public sex. We are so excited to discuss it with you. And I promise that we will let you know whose channel it's going to be on as soon as we decide. So thank y'all for watching, and we will see you next month. In the meantime, be subscribed to everybody. We're all down in the comments or in the description. I mean, obviously I'm not, but everybody else is. So make sure you're subscribed to everybody.
Yes.
And we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.